my motto, nothing's ever holding back.
Not every race is won with horsepower. Sometimes it's your brain that crosses the line first. Welcome to another episode of the Lone Road iRacers podcast. I'm your host, Guy Robertson, and today we're diving into a series that may just be iRacing's best kept secret. I'm talking about the Production Car Challenge, or the PCC. But more specifically, my experience racing only the Mazda MX-5 Cup car this last 2 weeks. I've gained over 300 iRating, cleaned up my driving, and even learned how to adapt when the skies opened up and the rain started falling. That's right, rain. It showed up late in these races, and it changed everything from braking points to overtaking strategies. We're going to break it all down, so let's get into it. So let's get personal for a moment, listeners and viewers. I've only raced the Mazda MX-5 in the PCC this season. No Clio, no BMW, just the little MX-5. And the results have been incredible. I set myself a personal season's goal for the sports car license to get back over 2000 IR. And when we started the season, I was something like 1800 and something. And within a week and 2 days, I've smashed that goal, listeners and viewers. Over 300 iRating gained in less than 2 weeks. And more importantly, a much more refined sense of how to drive consistently, manage traffic, and finish races clean. Here's the key. I didn't win any race. I may have podiumed 1 or 2 times. What I did was finish pretty cleanly. Low incidents, no drama, or should I say I avoided the drama, and in PCC that's the secret sauce. You'll often see drivers wreck out trying to fight for P3 while you're quietly sailing along into a solid P5 with 0x and 35 iRating in the bag. It's a grind, but it's a smart grind, and the Mazda, it rewards the grind. It's forgiving, yes, but it still requires discipline and awareness. It teaches you basically how to race smart. Now, a lot of drivers overlook the PCC because they see it as a step down from IMSA. But I'd argue it's not a step down, it's a step sideways with a purpose. IMSA, as we know, is high speed, high pressure. GT3 and LMP2 cars require intense setup work, lightning fast reflexes and mental stamina. But in PCC you can focus on the driving, not the setup. No tyre strategies, just pure racecraft. And here's the kicker, you'll still get multi-class traffic, blue flag scenarios, and the need to balance aggression with survival. You just need to get more time to process it all. So what did I actually improve, I hear you ask, this season? First, race starts. Learning how to stay out of trouble in lap 1 and even lap 2. Especially when you're the slower car in the classes. It's an art that you have to find out. Secondly, consistency. The Mazda rewards momentum. It's not about dive bombing or power sliding. It's about connecting your apexes and keeping exit speed alive. Third, defensive driving. When you're P6 with a faster car behind, learning to hold your line without over-defending is a real skill. And fourth, multi-class awareness. Faster classes will overtake you mid-corner. You learn how to stay predictable, how to lift in the right places, and how not to panic when you see headlights flashing in your mirror. These are skills that translate across virtually every discipline on iRacing. So we're going to come back in a minute and we're going to talk about the effect that rain has on this series mid-race. Be right back, folks. Just when I thought I had the Mazda figured out, something changed the weather, specifically rain. Now, we all love iRacing's dynamic weather, but it's not often, other than the endurance races, where rain comes and goes. Well, that's what happens, at least this week, on Monza Combine in the PCC. iRacing's dynamic weather now means that a race can start dry and end wet, and that is brilliant. And that is exactly what's been happening in several of my PCC events. Around lap 8, the sky starts greying. In a couple of laps, there's a sheen on the track, grip falls off a cliff, and suddenly half the field is in the wall. And I'm not complaining about that because I've only messed up one race where it has rained significantly to affect the grip. The rest of the time, other drivers have hit the wall, and I've took my time getting through the corners safely because I'm driving to the conditions. But here's the opportunity: if you adapt faster, you survive. Most drivers didn't. They kept braking at the same markers. They floored it out of the corners. They slid across the painted curbs like they were driving on ice. But what did I do? I braked earlier, like 30 metres earlier, abandoned the rubbered in line and drove on the wet line, modulated my throttle as I was balancing it on a tightrope, and I avoided the curbs like the plague. The result, I gained 5 to 8 positions in the final laps in at least 2 or 3 of those races, folks, just by staying smooth and thinking ahead. So if you are struggling for iRating and you want to have a little bit more fun, shall we say, go and give the PCC a go. It is a brilliant training and learning ground again for people who are struggling with racecraft, who are inspired to go and race in IMSA but a little bit nervous. This is the class for you. And the Mazda, the MX-5 in the Production Car Challenge, isn't just a beginner car in a low stakes series either. It's a classroom. It's where you learn how to manage a race, adapt on the fly, and race clean. Throw in weather changes and it becomes a masterclass in composure and adaptability. The race turns everything upside down, and if you can stay upright, you'll come out ahead. This season reminded me why I love iRacing again already. It's not just about speed, but it's about control, discipline and awareness. The ability to think clearly when others are losing their heads. So if you're stuck in a rut, if your iRating is free falling, or if GT3 is giving you a headache, jump into the Mazda in the PCC. And when the rain comes, don't panic, just drive smart. Now, we'll be back in a minute for our second topic today, which is all about Monza and how the oval combination came to be. So our second subject is an in-depth look at one of the most extreme, misunderstood and underutilized combinations on iRacing, Monza with the oval configuration. It's fast, it's furious, and it's a time capsule of motorsport history that most drivers skip over without giving it a second thought. But why does Monza have an oval at all? That's a question we've probably all thought about once we understand it's actually got one. And how does it fit with the more commonly used GP layout? We're going to look at this legacy of this hybrid track and what makes it so brutally challenging in iRacing. So Monza is in iRacing typically gets used for its Grand Prix layout, the modern Formula One favourite. But hidden within the track options is a configuration that combines the GP course with a brutally fast high-banked oval. The result, a layout where you blast through iconic corners like Lesmo and Ascari and then rocket onto the steep NASCAR-style oval with no runoff and massive speed. These combinations are very rare. You'll find it used in endurance specials, one-off events, or occasionally for wild multi-class races. It offers something different, a mix of braking finesse, aerodynamic courage and tyre-saving wisdom. It also forces drivers into a completely different rhythm, slow it down for the chicanes, then hold your breath and go flat out in the banking at nearly 300 kilometers an hour. Now we're going to rewind to the 1950s. Monza's oval wasn't an afterthought, and some of us might think it would be. It was the centrepiece of Italian speed culture. In 1955, the high-speed oval, also called the, now bear with me here, sopraelevata, was built to make Monza one of the fastest circuits in the world. Think of it like Italy's answer to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. With its twin bank turns and a nearly unbroken stretch of wild open throttle, it was a playground for speed fanatics. So what was the goal? Host racers faster than anywhere else. The original Monza 10-kilometre layout fused the oval with the road course, offering average speeds approaching 280 kilometres an hour. It was very dangerous, visually stunning, and tragically short-lived. By the early 1960s, the combination layout was phased out for major events due to safety concerns. Tyre technology couldn't keep up, and high-speed crashes on the banking led to devastating accidents. Eventually, drivers refused to race there, but the legacy lives on in iRacing. In iRacing, the Monza Oval combo offers something you just don't get anywhere else. It's a raw challenge. Aerodynamics get tested like never before. Do you run low downforce for the banking and suffer in the corners? There's a question. Or do you balance it and risk getting swallowed up at top speed? Tyres also take a beating, especially on the oval's outer line. Drafting becomes everything. You break the toe, you can vanish, but you get caught in dirty air entering Variante del Rettifilo and you're toast. It's not just about raw pace, it's about compromise, bravery and mechanical sympathy. This layout forces you to think. Every corner leads into a straight that could make or break your lap. Mistakes cost seconds and possibly your race. Monza Oval Combo is underused in public series, and here's why it shouldn't be. It's a fantastic venue for multi-class racing. Faster prototypes can stretch their legs, while GT cars battle in the twisty sections. It teaches aero discipline. Drivers learn how to manage slipstream without overdriving. It's an incredibly fun to hot lap. The transition from tight corners to all-out speed is thrilling. Historically, it connects us with the danger and glory of old-school motorsport. This track makes you respect the car, respect the limits, and respect the history. Every lap feels like a trip back in time. So next time you load up iRacing and scroll past Monza's Oval Combo, stop, give it another look. Go and try it, drive it, feel the G-forces in the banking, respect the fear in the braking zones. The Monza Oval wasn't built for show, it was built for speed. The kind of speed that scared even the bravest drivers of the era. And in iRacing, it probably still does. Well, that's it for today's episode, listeners and viewers. I put some footage up on YouTube of one lap with some carnage on the Monza combo. So go and check it out. Any sponsors or guests or topics for the podcast, don't forget to send me an email using the email address in the show notes below. Until then, happy iRacing, and I'll see you on the track soon.
Whatever it takes, we're racing, we're in the zone. Whatever it takes, we push hard, never alone. I'm in the cockpit, the engines roar, hear me now. We're racing circles, got a hustle, made a vow. Chasing victory, it's all or nothing on the track. Speed is my motto, nothing's ever holding back. Whatever it takes.